Namaste, Kesihu. Hope you guys are doing well. Achmwene mulibwanji. Aviator anipweteka. It's hurting. That means Aviator is hurting us. It's hurting us. It's the game that we love so much, but then it hurts us. But then one of these good days, I'm going to say, Buyala. Buyala. Mfuna ukhuluma lawe. I'd love to speak to you, Mr. Aviator. I'd really love to meet the guy who really designed this game and what he was thinking. How did he think about this game? A very, very interesting one. But that's a start there, right? 5x disappears. Why? Because there's lack of concentration. The rules are rules. You know, when you make some rules, you have to follow them. It doesn't matter who you are. Once you start breaking the rules, you will miss it and you will regret it. So one of the key takeaways right now is you see that 5x, there was more than enough time for it to get to 5.78. I should have at least cashed out 1,000, and that 1,000 I might regret it in the near future. It's not a nice thing really to miss. So I've actually then thought about, okay, I'm going to devise a new strategy here and make sure it's a zero misses policy, right? So I do not have to miss anything, because time and again when I play, I miss something. And I missed something that was pretty obvious because at times I change my mind, right? At this point, disciplined. 5x, I get 1,000, right? And then the second one, 8x, it disappears, okay? I was targeting 10x because this thing is not giving as much as it used to do. Things have changed. So we also need to adjust, right? You see, it gave, I think, about 6 blues before it started giving purples. That's not a good thing because it always depends on the balance that you've got. If you've got a small balance, when it gives you 6 blues, if you're unlucky to get there, I mean, you will be finished. I mean, you'll be finished definitely. You know, you can't go for 6. I mean, you can't play 6 times and not cash out something. So when it comes then to a point where you've got a chance to cash out, then do not miss it. You'd rather press it at 4.5x rather than wait for 5x and then you don't get it. But the policy is, if you've decided to go for a 3x and a 4x, stick to it and don't miss it. Because once you miss it because you changed your mind and you started thinking about something else, that's all your fault, right? You'll see at one point there's a mistake that I did because I got carried away. I was thinking of something else and then I got disturbances. I'll call those little demons. Oh, yes, they drag everyone into the mud always for some reason. And we end up complaining, blaming everything and everyone. But as it looks now, it's not really looking very nice. And I'm just hoping these things are going to change. I checked the history. I thought, okay, fine, it's worth the while. It's worth playing, right? But just maybe as a way of doing a recap of some of the things that we've spoken about in the past, right? Some of the guys that have joined us, maybe I might have not gone through all the 80 videos that we got, but maybe in summary, these games that we play, this is purely entertainment, right? It's not to encourage anyone to play. Yes, it's not to encourage anyone to start playing. But for those that have given up themselves to say, we want to play, yes, you can go ahead and play. You're an adult, so you can make such decisions. So we are here to make sure that whatever you want to do, you are at least well informed, right? We'll inform you the good and the bad side of the game. And the general thing is that when you are playing not just the Aviator, any form of gambling, right, the house always wins. That's the truth that many people don't want to know. The truth is, it is very difficult for individuals to lose, right? So I'll explain it to you in this way, right? First of all, there's something called beginner's luck. I don't know how that principle works, but then to be honest with you, well, as a beginner, you'll win something and you'll buy something with that money and you'll have reference in the future. Little did you know that that's a bait that's going to drag you into the mud, into stuff that you'll never be able to come out of because you'll get into debt, you'll get into bad stuff, and you'll end always regret the day you started playing. Right, but then in the process, you'll also win something. Once you win, you believe you're going to win more. And for some reason, you start thinking, I'm going to win more. I'm going to win more. And that doesn't happen, right? So at times you win something, but then because you're expecting, or maybe you're so used to winning big, you don't even know when to cash out. You don't even know when to take out something, right? So that's words of wisdom from the Aviator Pro himself, right? That's for you, not for me. We keep playing, we enjoy the game, we get something from it, we lose something from it. But I'll always tell you that yes, it can be a life change, 100%. I agree with you. But in most cases, it will drain you. So you need so much wisdom to know and remember that whenever you play, you should remember to cash out money. Right? Once you put in a 2K, a 1K, 100 Rand, whatever amount that you put, make sure once you get profit, you get your money back. The only problem is we love seeing those big figures on the screen, and then at the end of the day, we always think we've got money. And to be honest with you, when we revisit the way we've played, I'm sure everyone that has actually played Aviator or any other game has gotten a win somewhere, right? You'll get a cash out. Probably you put 100 and you get to 170, 200, maybe 300 at times. But because your mind is focused on 500, your mind is focused on 1,000, you keep going and going and going. Remember this, the game will give you at one point, but then there will come a time where it will start taking its money back, right? It will need to replace, it will need to replenish wherever the money came from. So all it does, it redistributes money from Peter and gives it to John, and then from John it gives it to Tabo, from Tabo to whoever it is, to Kaone. Wherever it is. But then, I mean, the honest truth is it redistributes that money, and then whoever is in the game at the right time will enjoy it, right? Over 5x, did you see that? Okay, so this is miss number 2. That's a miss of 1,000 again. These are the things that at times I think we should not do as Aviator players. That is terrible. And that is the reason why you see the balance starts going down, because I've missed twice, which is a potential 2K. How can I miss 5x? Why? Because in my mind, I'm possibly thinking, oh, maybe it can go to a pink. I'm really undecided at this point. And those are the reasons why we start losing in the end. And that's not nice. That's not nice at all, you know? So, you know what? This is obviously purely entertainment. We need to entertain you, right? And at the same time, we need to give you some sort of wisdom, right? So we play, we get something from it, right? We put it on the side, and then we can we can risk whatever we want to risk with as we go, right? So you should learn to do that, right? Remember, I said in the past that when you play, try and play in sessions. Reason being, when you play in sessions, you play, you stop. You play, you stop, right? The reason is when you play and stop, get out of the game, it cools you down and it helps you to decide clearly. But when you stay in the game and you keep on pushing, something is going to push you till all the money is gone. Right, so you have to be very, very wise. You have to be very, very wise and try and play in sessions. You play yourself very short sessions. Very short sessions are very good, especially when you get something. It doesn't matter after you cashing out. Maybe you cash out 1,000 and then it keeps on paying and paying and paying. It happens at times, and you can't even believe it. It gives you 4 pinks in a row. You're asking yourself, is this real? Yes, it's real. And then at times then it keeps on doing the exact same thing, and then you will start thinking maybe it will continue to do that. That is very impossible, right? And to be honest with you, when you open up the game and you see the history is looking really good, I mean, to be honest with you, it's not the right time to play, because the paying has already happened. The system doesn't have money anymore. It will indeed start recovering. It's got a tendency of giving you one big one after that, and then you think maybe it's going to give you 4 or 5 more, but then it never happens. It never happens the way you want, right? So please do not try and aim too high. Try and just aim as long or as much as you can see, right? Look at this history here. There's only 3 pinks. Just imagine 3 pinks in, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 times 6, about 56 rounds, right? only 3 pinks. How is that possible? That's very cruel, Mr. Aviator. I don't like that, right? So it's been 3x's. Look at that. Over the past, I don't know, I think 10 rounds, I've never really gotten to cash out anything, right? This is the point that at times you need to adjust and do the 3x and 4x policy, but then at times it just doesn't work. At times it just doesn't work because you need to have the highest of concentration, right? So that you can decide and see. The only thing is with this, for you to be able to see the trend is after the things have actually happened. And when it's in the past and you look in the rearview mirror, it'll be too late for you to make certain decisions because you'll see now that it gave a couple of 3x's, but you never picked any 3x because you were expecting 5x, because you're expecting 10x or 8x or whatever. But look, this is also above 3x, and then that is me fidgeting. Look at the top people playing. The highest guy there with about 1.7, right? I went a little over 1.5, busy fidgeting. Look at that. It goes again, right? Why? Because I'm expecting a pink, right? If I had taken maybe a 6x or a 7x, whichever way, I would have gotten myself something. At times, you just need to survive. You know, surviving is more important because preserve your balance. Watch how the game is going. Then from there, you can take your risks. But we normally want to take risks with profit. We don't want to take risks with our own money. So that's why I always urge everyone who's playing to remember this always. Remember this. Play a risky game after getting some profit, right? After cashing out your initial balance. So that should be the policy always. When you put 300, buy a voucher. Yes. How much? 300. That's perfect. You put 300, you play, you get to 500. Cash out 300, get out of the game. Live 200, right? Give yourself an hour, give yourself 2 hours, give yourself a couple of, do something else. If you're at work, work, right? Because this thing is going to disturb you, right? So, because it's a very emotional game. It's completely different from Gates of Olympus, from Book of Ra. It's completely different. There we go, 5x, right? Hoping for the best and nothing is happening, right? So one thing that I want you to see, it looks like it's pegged at about 7x, right? It's not going beyond that. And it looks like 7x has become the new pink. I think they should change it, the color, and make it pink so that we can be happy. So we can at least start maybe considering cashing out at 7x or 6x and then we end there. But obviously because of our experiences, because of what we've seen in the past, we've always seen it giving pinks after maybe a couple of blues. After a 0-0, maybe it gives a pink. It does that at times. But at this point, it didn't happen. But I want you to see something. I got carried away at this point, right? And I wasn't able to get on board, right? So I didn't place anything. And this is the pink that I've been waiting for. Look at this. Huh? This is the pink that I've been waiting for all day long. And it's one thing that I've been waiting for. And for some reason, you'll see that it's lack of concentration that then leaves me not getting in at the appropriate time. And now, what do I get? I get nothing out of it. And this is really, really, really painful because this is the moment that I've been waiting for the whole time. And then it comes and it goes without me getting anything, right? That's a big lesson. When you play, you have to concentrate, fully concentrate. That's why I always make reference of people that are playing in taxis, that are playing in public places. I've seen so many videos of people playing around with that. And look, it's not a very nice thing. It went to 37x, but then I never really even gotten a 3k because I was supposed to get a 3k from that, and possibly I could have been back maybe to about 10k. But now I'm down to 6k. Look from where we started, and we're losing at this point. But then we will indeed come to at one point in time and see if we can recover it. At this point, I can say, Mr. Aviator, you've won. But then I'll have to give it up for now. And then just see what happens. I'll give it one more time. If it doesn't give me anything, I'm out. I'm out because this game is just something else. It's just something else. It's draining us. But then let me leave it for now. Cheers, guys. See you later.